Okay, Lucy's not here right now, so it's just me saying good morning to you. It's a Saturday. Uh, Still feeling the effects of this, whatever it was I had. It's trying to resurrect itself. I'm not letting it, but I am having a little voice problem. So if you can't hear me, I'm sorry. I'm trying to speak as loud as I can, but I don't want to annoy the neighbors either. So, what's going on? You read all these articles. I just gotta stop reading this stuff on YouTube because it's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. Uh, I am seeing videos of actions being taken by ICE at the various farms and whatnot in California. So you can expect a couple of things. One, fruits and vegetables are going to be a lot more expensive because of these actions. Two, they're going to need more, what do they call, concentration camps. And three, when this is all over, those ICE agents better run and hide. Anyhow, I still think we should do something to make them show their faces so that we know who they are. Especially the ones that are doing the beatings that you can see on videos that are from CNN and other places where they're actually beating these farmers on the ground because they say they resisted. Well, first of all, they probably don't understand the language or what's going on, and nobody's going to explain it to them. So I hope that all these bastards gets what's coming to them. I don't think I'll be around to see it, but I hope they do. Alright, okay, let's go further into this bullshit that's going on right now. Drones. The Hegseth did this big ceremonial signing of some not legislation, but directive which was going to increase drone activity in drone production made in the United States, supposedly, which doesn't bother me one way or the other. The deal is that you're going to start losing your privacy. Those people that complained about CTE cameras on their corner, well, now you can complain about a drone flying outside your window. That happened down here one day. Somebody took the drone out and it's never been back. This was a civilian-operated drone. This was a peeping Tom going around doing a bedroom search. He lasted less than an hour before somebody took him out. And I'm not sure it was the drone they took out or him. But anyhow, you're going to look out your window, so blackout shades are necessary now, folks. Be careful what you say because they have audio recording. They have the ability to record audio, long-range audio, and they'll be sitting outside your windows any day now. So those are drones, I mean, there are methods to which you can protect yourself from drones. I'm not familiar with all of them, and if I was, I still wouldn't put it on the air. I'm a brave guy, but there's a limit to what I'm going to make public. Because they do serve a purpose. And the unfortunate thing is that the ones that they really want to get, that they're using for in instances of espionage and whatnot, those drones, the people that operate those drones know how to take them down very easily. So this is going to be just be careful, watch what you say, do no exotic sex, unless you're into making porn movies that the guys in DC are going to watch, God, my house is dusty. I should do something about that. All right, that's an issue that's going to be a long-term thing. Some of that information he gave out is somewhat classified, so I'm sure he's going to get in trouble for that. But you had to see this clip. He's starting in front of the White House. I don't know. I think it's the White House, and he's marching across the lawn with these drones flying next to him and everything else. He has a drone deliver the memo that he's issuing about the increase in drone production in the United States and whatnot. Problem is, half of those parts come from other countries. They're not manufactured here. It's like, a car made in the USA only has to have 10% of it actually manufactured in the United States. The rest of it's imported and assembled. It's assembled in the United States. It's not made in the United States. That's the big fallacy everybody has. Well, they make their cars here. No, they don't. They manufacture, they assemble the vehicles here in some cases, yes. Some cases not anymore. Some cases they do the whole thing in Canada or Mexico or wherever. And the tariff situation, which is Trump running around saying, I'm going to make you pay, I'm going to make you pay, look, tariffs, what a fucking idiot. Anyhow, continuing along those lines, there's the Epstein story going on. Now, this guy, amongst other things, was a procurer of women for various people. Young women, if you get the idea, okay? I think he committed suicide or was killed in prison, I forget which. But anyhow, everybody's denying this tape existed, that the investigation about this one, it's like a minute's missing and they're all concerned about it. What's in the minute? There are enough pictures floating around on the internet, and I don't have the ability to check for the films because I'm doing this off a download that's going to let me know whether or not this is a legitimate photograph or not. But they are of Epstein and Trump together, who Trump says he didn't know who he was. And of Trump with his hand up, stuck between some girl's legs. Now, obviously this is a young Trump, because he can't even see that far anymore to put his hand between somebody's legs. But you're talking about a highly, highly immoral individual, which reflects poorly on Melania, okay? And their life together. That must have been exciting when they were younger. There's got to be a tape of that someplace that'll show up sooner or later. But Donald is just so immoral, and he, everybody says, well, he lies. And now they take it for granted that he lies, and it doesn't upset people anymore, That's so stupid. He's got some of the most incompetent people. He just promoted some guy who was writing letters because of Hooters was going to close in Florida, and he wanted the governor to do something about it so it doesn't close. And he's going to be an ambassador to, I think Malay, someplace over in Asia or something like that, which someplace out of the way. That's our way of getting rid of the guy, Put him in a do-nothing, nowhere spot. God forbid an American should get in trouble in that country and need embassy assistance because he's not qualified to be I don't know, well, I think he's an influencer or something, but I don't know what he's qualified to do. But as far as politics and diplomacy is concerned, he has no qualifications. Zero. Zilch. Nada. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But that's one of Donnie's friends, probably a big contributor. And you got some of the people I look at, and when I read their biographies or whatever, to see what their qualifications are, and these people are in the cabinet. They don't have qualifications that would suit for that position. They're not stupid or anything like that. They just don't have the qualifications necessary for that position because they know nothing of what's going on there. So you're basically putting somebody there to forward the good towards Trump and to accept the bad, the criticism. Bad criticism goes to this whatever person that's the secretary or whatever, and the good stuff goes to Trump. That's the way it's set up. He doesn't want people that are smarter than him working in trust me, he's not very smart, so you know how stupid these people are, working in his administration. They think that they're very qualified. They think that they're the ones that are in charge and everything, and they're so smart and all that. That's not true. You know, he's in charge no matter what. Although Hedgesmith is trying to get himself fired, and if he doesn't quit soon, he will be fired, because there is only so much distraction away from Trump that you can do, and then Trump gets pissed because he wants to be the star, you know. And they're going to, someplace along the line, I would love to see him being denied this Nobel Peace Prize, because there's no peace anywhere. He hasn't negotiated jack shit, okay? You know, his art of the deal is to see how badly he can screw the people around him. That's the art of the deal, folks. It's to take other people's money and use it so that you don't lose your own money. And the profits go to you. They don't go to the people whose money you're using. That's the mafia way, you know? And that's Donald Trump. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out the art of the deal. You know, you try to and obviously negotiations, when you enter, especially in a world situation, you try to get into discussions and whatnot, and negotiations from a position of power. Now, I don't know how Trump defines power, because right now he's using tariffs as a stick to beat these people into submission. And in the meantime, and it's coming, you can see it on the horizon, our economy is getting ready to react in a very poor way to this whole situation. But people that do manufacturing work, he's deporting them all. Americans don't want to get their hands dirty anymore. I told you the story. 10 years ago, I tried to hire a busboy. The going rate was something like $2.10 an hour plus tips. Okay? So he comes in and he wants $10 an hour plus tips. And I told him straight up, I said, you want $10 an hour plus tips? If that job exists, call me, because I'll take it. And I was the head chef at the time. So that's just telling you, you know, you're not going to get a lot of people running into take manual labor jobs, you know. The whole objective of well, that's why he's destroying wants to destroy the education system, because the whole idea of education was so that you wouldn't have manual labor. You get away from manual labor, and that's not what he's doing. He's just destroying everything. Somebody's got to show me something that really proves this man is nuts and is not just sitting around listening to other people and being controlled, which I think he is, by some other people. You know, someplace along the line he got pissed off at Putin, so he must have woke up one morning and figured out he was being played. Everybody knew he was being played. Everybody that had a half a brain knew he was being played, except him and some of the diplomats some of the people in the diplomatic corps that he appointed. It just, I remember Harry Truman. He said he had a set of balls. I remember FDR, he cared. Well, I don't remember him that well, but I did a lot of studying on him. Probably the president I know best. Truman had balls. He dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. Kennedy, nice guy. Smart. Knew how to use his intelligence services. He knew how to use the people around him. Okay, was he a womanizer? Yeah, that's just, you know. In that respect, he was a little like Donald Trump, and the rest of but he had empathy for the world, and he knew what he was doing. He knew what was right. Whether he agreed with it or not, he knew what was right. And then Johnson he put a lot of those programs that Kennedy talked about and used as campaign points. He actually put them into use, you know. Clinton, another womanizer, but basically a good man. And then you had the best president in terms of moral structure and guts and whatnot. You had Obama. You know, Obama's guts started with the fact that he was black, and he became the first black president. And there's people that have resented that ever since then. And those people are now in power. And they're trying to make it so that the only thing this country ever does is, this country's going to be like South Africa with their apartheid. White rule. That's what he wants. That's what they want. You got to look where these Republicans come from and their backgrounds, you know. Segregation and whatnot. Desegregation didn't do them any favors. So that's why they're the way they are. And some of the resentment, I will admit, some of the resentment comes from the attitude of some of the hey Lucy, some of the people that were involved in these things. The black people and their attitudes, you know, which was basically that they felt they took an attitude that white people interpreted as being they thought they were entitled to. Now I don't know what the specifics of anything. Maybe they were in specific instances, but not generally speaking. Nobody's entitled to anything other than the right to work, breathe, love, whatever. All right, it is running late, and I got some other things to take care of, like cooking my lunch today, because my wife is gone to a party that I was invited to and wanted to go, and she told me not to go. And I'm reaching a point where if I had the money, I'd leave the country tomorrow, and not because I dislike the country. I can't. I need to be unmarried. Okay, everybody, you guys all have a great day. I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so I will see you on Monday. Take care.